Welcome to CBN4's Primetime News. I am your presenter, Sheena Harry. The Dominica State College held its Miss Mass Jamboree Award ceremony at the college's auditorium, with officials stating that the 2016 competition was a success. Here's Shanna Esprit with that report.
Director of Student Services Edgar Hunter stated that this year's competition was the best they have had in years past. Hunter informed that due to the success of the Mass Jamboree, the organizing committee is looking to expand regionally.
We decided we are looking at hosting a regional college pageant in Dominica, which will be managed and done by the State College. So far we have already started doing the groundwork. So it may not happen next year, but it could happen the year after. So the winner of Miss Mass Jamboree will become the Dominica representative at such a pageant.
All 6 participants were awarded with various gifts and prizes from a number of sponsors, as well as 1 year of tuition from the Dominica State College. The winner of the Miss DSC Mass Jamboree 2016, Christine Tavernet, received a full scholarship at the Dominica State College, $500 compliments Apex Capital Partners, 1 Alcatel tablet compliments Flow, and a night for 2 at Secret Bay Hotel, among others. President of the Dominica State College, Dr. Donald Peters, commended the initiative of the college in taking such an active part in carnival activities.
Thank you, Shanna, for that report. Although the national cleanup campaign to fight Zika has been hailed a success across the board, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health and Environment, Helen Royer, says the lessons to be learned should not be taken for granted. Royer says that one major lesson is that the threat of an outbreak should not be the point when a cleanup occurs.
Action gets its right place, it has to be sustained. So centrally, one of the things we are thinking of is maybe on a quarterly basis. I think that is one of the lessons that has been learned, that people are not managing their solid waste properly.
And she went on to say that it falls on her ministry and other entities to ensure that the cleanup continues with the cooperation of citizens.
While they were excited to put it out, it cannot just end here. We have to continue to educate and engage the public on means and ways of taking care of their white goods. And I think the Ministry or the Solid Waste Corporation also has a responsibility maybe to have a more structured method in ensuring that if it's every three months or every 6 months that we do a collection. More important.
But Royer also called on village councils and other groups within the communities to take a more active role. She encouraged them to organize their own cleanup campaigns and simply contact her ministry and support will be given. Also making our headlines, Liat, the Caribbean airline, celebrates March Madness with its own promotions. The airline, based out of Antigua, announced the introduction of a series of low fares within the network throughout the month of March to make travel easier and more affordable for its customers, the company said. According to Liat, the new fares are now the lowest fares offered for travel within the network and are fully inclusive of all airport and government taxes. Back in January, the airline eliminated fuel surcharges on all flights. Head of Corporate Communications, Desmond Brown, noted that with these low fares, now is a great time for customers wishing to take their entire family on a much-needed vacation. Founded back in 1956, Liat operates within 17 Caribbean territories. Dominican motorists can now enjoy another reduction in gas prices effective today. And gas prices have been reduced to $9.15 per gallon. Director of Trade, Nathan Walter, has informed that the reduction of fuel over the past 2 years is related to the oversupply of gas on the international market.
So at this moment, we would have an oversupply of at least 1.5 million barrels of oil per day. And this would have an impact of depressing the price of fuel on the market.
Walter also explained that Dominica has been able to seek the best price possible on the international price for the petroleum product that consumers are comfortable with. The Director of Trade also commended the government for seeing the need to remove taxes on commodities, allowing consumers to benefit.
There was a time when we had the price of fuel being $16.35 a gallon. So when the price is that high, a consensus government has to do something to see how it can be able to allow its consumers the pain to be cushioned. And that is where the removal of certain taxes, and the government has to get taxes, They have, services that they need to pay for. But at the same time, the government, seeing the impact of that high price on the consumer, will remove certain taxes, and in that case,
Walter noted that the customs service charge was removed in November of 2009 to allow a more acceptable price to be given to consumers. Last week, we reported on an incident at the Greenhouse Sports Bar and Grill where masked men entered the establishment armed with guns and committed a robbery. Video footage from security cameras is now circulating, and it appears that 3 men entered the building and held terrified patrons at gunpoint. One employee was kicked while she cowered on the floor. The robbers made off with a lockbox containing an unspecified amount of cash and cell phones. Reports stated that the owner, Jameson Johnson, was injured in an attempt to flee from the attack and has since undergone surgery. The police are continuing the investigation, and anyone with information is asked to contact Crime Stoppers Dominica. The lengthy judicial process has finally ended for 3 siblings accused of killing their brother. Here's Larry LaRocque with the details.
Manslaughter accused Manuela Williams and Loretta Xavier Soufriere can now breathe a sigh of relief as they had their charges withdrawn against them. This was made possible following their brother, Herbert Xavier Soufriere, pleading guilty to the reduced charge of manslaughter. This then resulted in the state withdrawing the charges against his sisters, Williams and Xavier. The siblings were originally found guilty of murdering their brother, Harrison Williams, in 2010 and sentenced to 15 years imprisonment. However, the sentence was appealed and a retrial was ordered by the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court. Earlier this year, the state withdrew the murder charges for a charge of manslaughter against the three. Larry LaRocque reporting for CBN4.
Education Minister Peter Saint-Jean has broken his silence, speaking out in defense of Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt's honorary doctorate recently given to him by the lovely professional university in India. According to Saint-Jean, Skerritt has dedicated the best years of his life to public service, ministering to the poor, single mothers, the marginalized and the elderly, and has created innovative programs such as the Yes We Care program.
He is dynamic. Although leading the country for but 12 years of its 38 years of independence, he has initiated diplomatic relations with more than half of the 99 countries that Dominica has recognized. He is far-sighted. His outreach to the poor was at first criticized as a waste. His joining of the Bolivarian Republic, or the Bolivarian Alliance for the Peoples of the America, ALBA, was described as dangerous.
Seja continued that Skerrit attended the Viecas Government School, the Portsmouth Secondary School, and finished at the Dominica Grammar School, followed by attendance at the Clifton Dupini Community College, New Mexico State University, the University of Mississippi at Oxford, and graduated with double honors in English and psychology. The Education Minister further boasted the Prime Minister, adding that he has been a teacher, lecturer, elected representative since the year 2000, and progressively Minister for Sports and Youth Affairs, Minister for Education, Minister for Foreign Affairs, and since 2004, concurrently Minister for Finance. Seja added the Prime Minister should be addressed as Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit. And a big welcome home ceremony was held for the Prime Minister following his trip to India. Here's Larry LaRocque on the scene.
Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit today arrived back on Ireland after his trip in India, where he received an honorary doctorate from the lovely professional university. Now we're here with one of his supporters of the Dominican Labour Party. Give us an idea of how do you feel that your Prime Minister received this doctorate?
I love my Prime Minister so much. From the 2009, I was my Prime Minister. I love him. What he's doing for the kids, for the elderly like me. And he's not prejudiced with anything to anybody. God bless that Prime Minister, and God will give him a long life for him to do more than what he's doing there.
So ready?
We just there for our doctor.
And right now we met up with some more supporters of the Dominican Labour Party. Where you're from, and tell us why you're there today.
We're there to give him all this opportunity. It could be 5 hours. We all first from Salisbury. If he got 5 from Salisbury, it's enough for him. We're there to give him strength and courage.
Any other message you want to send to the Prime Minister on receiving this honorary doctorate?
We have to be happy. We have to be feeling proud, and he's very proud of him.
Yeah, and right now we have one of the other supporters, ma'am. Yeah. Let's give us an idea of why did you take time out to be at the ceremony today, welcoming the Prime Minister back home?
Well, he is one of the best, and we very much appreciate what he does for people in Dominica, especially the elderly and the young people. And he, as I said, he's one of the best, and I wish him all the best for the future and hope that he continues what he's doing.
And we've come to the end of the Primetime News with me, your presenter, Sheena Harry. But before I go, don't forget, you can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and on Instagram, and you can also log on to our website. It is cbn4.com. Coming up next, Ali and Christopher with sports.
Welcome to today's sports report. Beginning tomorrow, Wednesday, the 2nd of March, the sports division will host the 2016 Secondary Schools Athletics Championships and will continue into Thursday, 3rd of March at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium. The meet will begin at 9:30 a.m. on Wednesday with an opening ceremony where the athletes and guests is expected to be addressed. 12 noon will be the start time for Thursday, and competition will go through the early evening. The Dominica State College have retained their title in the secondary school's boys volleyball title by crushing the Northeast Comprehensive School 3-1 in the final. The final scores were 25-20, 16-25, 25-17 and 25-20. The Northeast Comprehensive losing their 3rd straight year in the competition. Meantime, the Castleboro Secondary School brutally hammered the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School in straight sets in the finals of the girls division. The Castleboro Secondary School took the match 25-13, 25-23 and 25-8. In the St. Mary's Primary School, the St. Luke's Primary and the Newtown Primary have all advanced to the next round of action in the National Bank of Dominica Primary Schools football. The schools advanced with wins in the Southwest Zone at the Newtown Savannah. The St. Mary's Primary finished with 15 points, the St. Luke's had 10 and the Newtown Primary 8 points. Sports coordinator in the Ministry of Sports, Trevor Shillingford, has indicated the willingness of governments across the region in the development of cricket from the grassroots level leading up to the selection into the West Indies senior squad. Shillingford said that players selected to represent the various islands are all coming from schools competition that are organized by the governments of the region.
So the governments in the region and the Ministry of Sports are the ones who are responsible for unearthing cricket talent in the Caribbean. And we are putting it forward where we are providing you, the players, with opportunities to showcase your skills, to prepare you for competitive cricket. And we are quite happy that you have taken advantage of these opportunities. And so far, we are very thankful for the things that we are seeing, the effort that you are making, and we stand ready to support you all the way through. And hopefully, next year, we will see one or two of you gather there as part of the West Indies under-19 team.
The sports coordinator made these statements at the opening ceremony of the Under-20 finals. Stay with us, we'll be right back after this break. Openers Johnson Charles and Andrew Fletcher punished Zimbabwe with exhilarating unbeaten half-centuries to lift West Indies to an emphatic 10-wicket victory in their second warm-up game on Monday. Chasing 154, West Indies raced to their target in the 13th over, with Johnson Charles belting 92 not out of 48 balls and Fletcher striking 56 not out of 33 deliveries. Zimbabwe had earlier tallied 153 for 7 of their 20 overs, with stylish Vishu Simbanda top scoring with 64 and Sikandar Raza getting 23. Charles and Fletcher then pummeled the Zimbabwe attack as West Indies cruised to their second win over the South African team inside 3 days. West Indies are preparing for the 2020 World Cup starting March 8th in India and will continue their preparations with another T20 warm-up against English County, Warwickshire on Friday. And here are the official point standings after 8 rounds of matches in the WICB Professional Cricket League Regional 4-day tournament ended on Monday. Guyana Jaguars are still top with 125 points after 7 wins from their 8 matches. They have a total of 14 batting points and 24 bowling points. Jaguars are well on course to retaining their title for a second straight year. Second is Barbados Pride with 106 points. Pride gathered 5 wins from 8 matches with 16 batting points and 24 bowling points. Third is Trinidad and Tobago Red Force with 74 points and 3 wins from 3 losses. Jamaica Scorpions are fourth after they were pegged back a bit after they suffered another defeat. They have a total of 63 points from 3 wins, 6 batting points and 21 points for bowling. The Windward Island Volcanoes are in 5th position with 45 points. Volcanoes only have 1 win from their 8 matches played so far. They are closely followed by bottom place Leeward Island Hurricanes with 39 points. And that concludes the Primetime Sport Report for today. I am Allen Christopher saying goodbye.